Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Valentin Cassadine had learned a long time ago that peace never stayed with him for long. Even on quiet mornings he felt the shadows stirring, old enemies returning, new threats blooming from places he couldn't predict. But nothing prepared him for what happened the moment he stepped into the metro court, expecting nothing more than a private meeting that never should have gone wrong. Carly Corinthos was behind the bar, sleeves rolled up, arranging glasses for the lunch rush. She glanced up when she felt a chill in the air, the kind that crept in before trouble arrived. "Valentin," Carly said lightly. "If you're looking for Nina, she's not here. And if you're looking for trouble, you can take a number." He didn't smile. He didn't blink. He barely breathed. That alone made Carly stop what she was doing. "What's wrong?" she asked. Valentin lifted a hand, not in greeting but as a warning. "We need to move. Now." Carly's brow furrowed. "Excuse me. I said move," he hissed, stepping behind the counter faster than she could back away. His grip closed gently but firmly around her wrist. "Someone just walked in that cannot see you with me. If they do, you'll be dead before you hit the floor." Carly stiffened. "What the hell are you talking about? Who?" Valentin shoved her down behind the counter. "Keep your head down. Let go of me." Carly snapped, twisting, but he held her arm tight. "Carly, listen," he whispered sharply. "This is not a joke." A voice rang out across the lobby, smooth, familiar, and cold enough to freeze Carly's breath. "Well, this is unexpected." Carly's eyes widened. That voice. She knew that voice. She hadn't heard it in years, but she'd never forgotten it. Valentin went rigid. "Stay down," he muttered to her, hand tightening around her wrist. Carly whispered, "Is that?" "It can't be." Valentin didn't answer. Instead, he slowly rose from behind the counter, dragging Carly up with him and pulling her flush against his chest. She felt the cold press of metal at her side before she even looked down. "You're kidding me," Carly breathed. "Are you holding a gun on me right now?" "I'm keeping you alive," Valentin murmured. Across the room a man stepped forward, hands in his pockets, expression smooth and amused. He looked impossibly calm, almost pleased. Nicholas Cassadine. Except older. Harder. A version who'd clearly spent months in places no man should go. Carly's heartbeat jolted. "You said he was gone." Valentin didn't look at her. His eyes were locked on Nicholas. "He was supposed to be." Nicholas smirked. "Disappointed, brother?" Valentin kept the gun discreet but visible enough that Nicholas noticed. "You shouldn't be here." "No," Nicholas said softly, "but I am. And it seems I've walked in on something interesting." Valentin pulled Carly even closer, though she struggled against him. "Leave now and she stays alive," Carly hissed. "Let me go. I didn't ask to be part of whatever this Cassadine nonsense is." Nicholas lifted a hand. "Carly, please. I have no quarrel with you." "Then tell him to release me." Carly snapped. "Oh no," Nicholas murmured. "He won't do that. Because he knows exactly why I'm here." Valentin's jaw flexed. "If you take one more step, you will what?" Nicholas asked. "Shoot Carly Corinthos in your own hotel? In front of witnesses?" "Valentin, really? You can do better than that." Carly glared up at Valentin. "He's right. This is insane." Valentin leaned close to her ear. "For once, trust me. You are collateral to him. A chess piece." "And you're what?" Carly shot back. "My protector? Holding me hostage doesn't make you a hero." A few guests in the lobby began drifting toward the exits once they sensed tension thickening in the room. But Nicholas didn't break eye contact with Valentin. "You heard the rumors," Nicholas said. "You knew I wasn't dead. You just didn't expect me to come home yet." "I expected you to come quietly," Valentin snapped. "To let me handle things." "That's the problem with you, Valentin." Nicholas's voice turned glacial. "You think everything needs your control," Carly muttered. "Welcome to the club." "Nicholas," Valentin said. "I'm warning you. I'm not letting you near her." Carly blinked. "Near me? Why? What do I have to do with any of this? Nicholas's eyes softened, not with kindness but with realization. He hasn't told you, has he? Told me what? Carly demanded. Valentin growled. Nicholas, don't. But Nicholas stepped closer, ignoring the threat of the gun, ignoring Valentin entirely. You, Carly, are the leverage he never wanted to use. Carly froze. What leverage? Over who? Nina, Nicholas said calmly. And Sonny. And half this town. Valentin bristled. Stop talking. Nicholas raised a brow. You dragged her into this the moment you pulled out that gun. Carly turned on Valentin, fury igniting. Is that true? Am I a bargaining chip now? Valentin didn't answer. Tell me, she demanded. Valentin exhaled. Quiet. Low. Controlled. He is trying to manipulate you. Nicholas snorted. Says the man holding her hostage. Valentin's grip tightened. You brought danger to her doorstep. This isn't about leverage. This is about protection. Protection. Carly's voice rose. Valentin, in what universe is pointing a gun at me protection? Nicholas walked to the nearest table, dragging out a chair and sitting as though settling in for entertainment. This is delightful. Really. I should have come home sooner. Why are you here? Valentin snapped. You know why, Nicholas replied. And you know what I want. I'm not giving her to you, Valentin said. Carly whipped her head toward him. Giving me to him? What am I, property? Nicholas chuckled. Cassandra Pierce left something behind before she died. Something Valentin hid. Something I intend to retrieve. And apparently, he gestured toward Carly, she is the key to it. Carly blinked hard. I don't even know Cassandra Pierce. No, Nicholas said. But she knew you. And she left a message hidden in a place only someone like you would ever check. Carly shook her head. This is insane. Valentin whispered. Carly, listen. He cannot get to that message. If he does, he gains access to something dangerous. Nicholas smiled. Dangerous to you, perhaps. Useful to me. Valentin lifted the gun again. I will shoot. Carly flinched. Nicholas sighed. You won't. You care too much what happens to her. Carly felt Valentin's breath hitch. Barely but enough. She whispered. Why do you care what happens to me? Valentin didn't answer. His silence spoke volumes. Nicholas leaned forward. Let her go, Valentin. She deserves to hear the truth. No, Valentin said. She deserves to live. And you are not getting near her. Not until I finish this. Carly's voice trembled despite her effort to stay strong. Finish what? Valentin's gaze flicked down to her. Stopping him. Nicholas rose from his chair. You won't stop me, brother. Not now. Not after everything I endured. Valentin stepped back, dragging Carly with him toward the service hallway. I don't want to hurt you, Nicholas. You already have, Nicholas said simply. Years ago, when you took my life apart. And now I've returned the favor. Valentin froze. What did you do? Nicholas smirked. I visited someone on my way here. Valentin's blood ran cold. Who? Nicholas's silence was answer enough. Carly whispered. Valentin, who would he go after? Valentin swallowed. Charlotte. Carly felt sick. No. Nicholas shrugged. She's safe. For now. But you know me, Valentin. I make no promises. That was the moment Valentin snapped. The gun pressed harder into Carly's side. Not threatening her, but holding her steady as he used her as a shield and lunged backward into the hallway. Carly shouted. Stop using me as cover. Too late, Valentin rasped. We're leaving. Now. Nicholas didn't chase. Instead, his voice echoed through the lobby. Run all you want. I'll find you both. And when I do, this ends on my terms. Valentin pulled Carly into the service corridor, pushing through the door and slamming it behind them. She jerked her arm away. Let me go, she demanded. I'm done being your hostage. Valentin holstered the gun, eyes fierce. I'm sorry, but if he gets you, everything spirals. I can't let that happen. You can't let that happen, Carly repeated. Valentin, I don't even know what's going on. You will, he said. But first, Charlotte. We have to get to her before Nicholas does. Carly stared at him, breathing hard. Why me? Why does he think I'm connected to Cassandra? Why drag me into a Cassadine war I want nothing to do with? Valentin looked away. Because Cassandra Pierce left a recording. Confession. Something catastrophic. And she mailed it to you. Carly froze. What? You were supposed to get it years ago, Valentin said. But it never arrived. Someone intercepted it before it reached you. And I think Nicholas finally figured that out. A tremor ran through Carly. What was in the recording? Valentin hesitated. Carly stepped closer. Tell me. Something that could destroy multiple families in Port Charles, he whispered. A truth she wanted you to know because she believed you were the only one who could act on it. Carly felt the ground tilt beneath her. So Nicholas wants it. Yes. And he'll tear this town apart to get it. And you? She demanded. What do you want? Valentin held her gaze, eyes dark and unguarded. I want to protect you. Carly's breath caught. Whether from fear or disbelief, she wasn't sure. Why me? She whispered. Valentin exhaled. Because Cassandra chose you. And because I owe you more than you know. Before she could respond, a loud clang echoed from behind them, the service door being kicked open. Nicholas's voice slithered through the narrow hall. Found you. Valentin grabbed Carly's hand. Run. No, she said, surprising even herself. I'm done running. I want answers. You'll get them, Valentin said, pulling her forward. If we survive. Nicholas stepped into view, blocking the exit. You can't escape me, brother. Valentin reached for his gun. Nicholas raised his hands. He wasn't alone. Two men stepped in behind him, armed, silent, waiting for a command. Carly whispered. Oh my God. Valentin positioned himself in front of her. Nicholas. Don't. Nicholas smiled. Give me Carly. And I let Charlotte live. Never, Valentin growled. Nicholas lowered his hand. The men raised their weapons. Carly gasped as Valentin shoved her behind him. Run when I say so. I'm not leaving you. Carly insisted. You have to, he said. You're the only one who can stop him. Nicholas nodded to his men. Take them. Valentin lunged. Gunfire exploded. Carly screamed. And the war between Cassadines, and everyone caught in their orbit, ignited in the narrow hallway of the Metro Court. Gunfire ripped through the narrow service hall, bullets sparking off metal shelves as Valentin lunged, pulling Carly against the wall. She felt the heat of the shots slicing past her, felt Valentin's arms shielding her as if she were something precious. The echo was deafening, her ears ringing, her pulse hammering so hard she could barely breathe. Stay down, Valentin shouted, pushing her behind a stack of supply crates. Carly's voice trembled. Valentin, they're going to kill us. Not if I hit them first. He whipped around the corner and fired twice. One of Nicholas's guards grunted and collapsed. The other ducked behind a laundry cart, returning fire. Nicholas himself didn't flinch. He stood at the end of the hallway, calm, almost amused. Always the dramatic one, Nicholas said lightly. But you can't win this. Valentin fired again. Watch me. Nicholas's second guard advanced, bullets ricocheting. Carly grabbed a metal tray from the shelf beside her, heart pounding, and flung it blindly. It clattered loudly across the floor, distracting the guard just long enough for Valentin to hit him in the shoulder. The man went down with a shout. Breathless, Carly pressed back against the wall. I'm not cut out for this. Valentin grabbed her hand. Now's a bad time to figure that out. Nicholas raised a hand. Enough. The shooting stopped. Silence fell thick and cold. Valentin kept the gun up, chest heaving, ready to fire again the moment Nicholas moved. Carly whispered. Why'd they stop? Nicholas stepped forward, slow, deliberate. Because I didn't come here to shoot you, Valentin. Then leave, Valentin snapped. I came to negotiate. Valentin laughed bitterly. You? Negotiate? You took out an armed escort and threatened my daughter. Nicholas's expression didn't change. We both know what I'm capable of. And we both know I don't make empty threats. Carly rose shakily from behind the crates, glaring. What do you want from me? Nicholas flicked his gaze toward her. Cassandra's message. I told you, I never received anything. Nicholas stepped closer. Because someone stole it before you could. Someone you know. Someone Valentin once trusted. Carly's stomach dropped. Who? My mother, Nicholas said softly. Helena. Valentin's blood ran cold. Impossible. Helena's dead. Nicholas shrugged. Are you ever sure of that? Even in death she leaves surprises. Carly stepped forward, voice sharp. Don't drag me into Cassadine ghosts. Helena didn't even know me. Oh, she knew of you, Nicholas said. And she understood something very important. That Cassandra's message could destroy the Cassadines, and she couldn't let that fall into the wrong hands. Valentin aimed the gun directly at Nicholas. If Helena touched that package, it's gone. Lost. Burned. Nicholas shook his head. Not this time. She didn't destroy it. She kept it. Valentin almost swayed. Kept what? A recording. Cassandra's confession. Nicholas smiled grimly. And I know where she hid it. Carly snapped. If you know where it is, why do you need me? Because Cassandra encoded the message with a biometric lock. Sound activation. It opens only when the person it was addressed to speaks one specific word. Carly blinked hard. A password. Nicholas nodded. And only you can trigger it. Valentin grabbed Carly's arm. We're leaving. Nicholas blocked the path. Not without her. I need her alive. Carly's voice shook with anger. Alive to help you, or alive until you don't need me anymore? Nicholas didn't answer. Valentin stepped in front of her. You're not taking her. Nicholas gave a soft sigh. I was hoping you wouldn't make this difficult. Valentin cocked the gun. Nicholas's eyes darkened. You won't shoot me. Because if you do, I promise you'll never find the recording before it lands in someone else's hands. Carly stared at him. Who? Nicholas paused. Esme. Valentin's expression hardened. You're lying. Am I? Nicholas asked. I spent months hunting her down. I know where she went, who she spoke to, what she planned. Carly gasped. No, you're not telling me she's involved in this. She knows Cassandra's file exists, Nicholas said. And she wants it. Badly. Valentin swore under his breath. Carly grabbed his arm. What happens if she gets it? Valentin hesitated. Long enough that Carly knew the truth would hurt. Everything blows up, he said. Nicholas nodded. Esme won't care who burns in the fallout. Carly's throat tightened. Why me? Why did Cassandra pick me? Nicholas considered her. She believed you were the only one bold enough and reckless enough to use the information for good. Carly scoffed. She clearly didn't know me at all. She knew you survived Nellie Benson, Nicholas said. And she admired you for it. Carly went pale. What does Nellie have to do with this? Valentin cursed under his breath. Too much. Nicholas spread his hands. Now you see why I need her. Valentin stepped forward, voice low and lethal. And you see why I will never give her to you. Nicholas smirked. Even if Charlotte's life depends on it? Carly grabbed Valentin's arm before he could rush forward. Stop. Stop, Valentin, just wait. Valentin clenched his jaw. He's bluffing. Nicholas tilted his head. Want to bet your daughter on that? Carly whispered. What did you do to her? Nothing, Nicholas said. Yet. But I know where she is. And I know who she's with. Valentin lunged. Tell me. Give me Carly, Nicholas replied. Then we talk. Carly shook her head. No. Absolutely not. Valentin stood between them, a human barrier. Over my dead body. Nicholas's eyes gleamed. If that's what it takes. Before Valentin could shoot, a sudden crash came from behind Nicholas. Metal clattered. A tray rolled across the floor. Nicholas spun around, too late. A shadow darted out from the adjoining hallway. Carly gasped. Oh my God. It was Anna Devane. She emerged like a razor in motion, striking one of the injured guards with a swift blow before kicking the gun from Nicholas's hand in a single fluid movement. Nicholas stumbled back. Anna. Don't talk, she snapped. You've said enough. Valentin exhaled, relief flashing through him. Anna, thank God. Anna didn't take her eyes off Nicholas. I got your message. I came as fast as I could. Carly threw her hands up. Great. Fantastic. Now someone tell me what the hell is happening before I lose my mind. Anna glanced at her. Carly, I know this looks like I'm being hunted by Cassidines. Because I am. Anna gently touched Carly's shoulder. You're safe now. Nicholas laughed softly. Safe? Anna, don't make promises you can't keep. Valentin raised his gun again. You're done, Nicholas. Nicholas shook his head. No. You are. He slammed his hand against a fire alarm panel. The siren screamed through the hallway as the sprinklers burst open, water drenching everyone instantly. The momentary chaos gave Nicholas the opening he needed. He bolted. Get him! Valentin shouted. Anna sprinted after him, slipping slightly on the wet floor but keeping pace. Carly clutched Valentin's shirt. Go. Just go after him. Valentin cupped her face briefly, intense. Don't move. Don't speak to anyone. I'll come back for you. Then he vanished into the hallway, chasing Nicholas into the storm of alarms and water. Carly stood alone, chest heaving, soaked and shaking. The guards groaned on the ground beside her, and smoke from a damaged electrical panel began to rise. She slid down the wall, burying her face in her hands. What is happening to my life? A moment later Anna returned alone. Valentin wasn't with her. Carly's heart lurched. Anna, where is he? Where's Valentin? Anna's face was grim. Nicholas got away. And Valentin? Carly whispered. Anna hesitated. He's gone too. Carly stood abruptly. What do you mean gone? They ran into the parking garage, Anna said. But when I got there they were both gone. Nicholas vanished. And Valentin. Carly swallowed hard. Did he leave me? Anna softened. No. Not willingly. Carly's voice broke. Then where is he? Anna looked away. Nicholas took him. Carly felt the floor tilt. No. No, he wouldn't. He did, Anna said quietly. He needed leverage. So he took Valentin. Carly's back hit the wall as she sank down again. Anna knelt in front of her. Carly, we have to move fast. Carly whispered, why? So he can use me next? So I can trigger some message that destroys everyone. Anna grabbed her hands. Because if we don't find that recording before Nicholas does, everything Valentin was trying to prevent is going to happen. Carly lifted her eyes, red and furious. Then tell me where to start, she said. Because I'm done being the hostage. I want to fight back. Anna nodded slowly. Good. Then first, we find where Helena Cassidine hid Cassandra's message. Carly wiped her eyes, determination burning brighter than fear. And after that? Anna rose to her feet. We rescue Valentin. Carly pushed herself up. Let's go. As they moved toward the stairwell, the fire alarm continued blaring overhead, drowning out one important sound, one they didn't hear. A cell phone vibrating in a fallen guard's pocket. A text message glowing on the screen. One word. Delivered. The room, usually a place of mundane routine and the faint, comforting scent of antiseptic and linen, had transformed into a crucible of pure, undiluted terror. Carly Corinthos stood frozen, her back pressed against the cold, unyielding surface of a medical supply cabinet. The usual fiery defiance that animated her every feature had been extinguished, replaced by a wide-eyed, breathless panic. Before her, Valentin Cassidine, a man whose demeanor typically oscillated between theatrical charm and icy calculation, was a raw nerve of volatile, unpredictable rage. The polished veneer had shattered completely. In his hand, a scalpel glinted under the fluorescent lights, its tip hovering dangerously close to the pulse frantically beating in Carly's throat. His other arm was locked across her chest, a brutal bar pinning her in place. This wasn't a calculated power play. This was the desperate, cornered act of a man who had just seen his entire world, a world carefully constructed on a foundation of lies and desperate hope, crumble to dust in an instant. The cause of this seismic shift stood just inside the doorway of the hospital room, a silent, devastating specter. The air itself seemed to have been sucked out, replaced by a heavy, suffocating silence. It was Anna Devane who had entered first, her expression one of grim resolution, but it was the figure who followed her that had acted as the detonator on Valentin's sanity. The woman was pale, her face a map of confusion and dawning horror, her eyes, a familiar piercing shade of blue, locked on Valentin. It was Charlotte Cassadine. But not his Charlotte. Not the vibrant, sometimes troubled young woman he had raised as his own, the center of his universe, the one for whom he had committed countless sins and built a fragile reality. This was the real Charlotte, the one who had been lost, believed dead, stolen away by the labyrinthine, cruel machinations of his own family. Her sudden appearance, here and now, in this of all places, was an impossibility. It was a ghost made flesh, a walking, breathing repudiation of the last 2 decades of his life. For Valentin, time fractured. The sterile hospital room dissolved, replaced by the haunting, rain-slicked streets of Prague, the chilling silence of a morgue, the decades-long ache of a loss so profound it had hollowed him out, leaving only a shell fueled by vengeance and later, by the fragile hope he found in a little girl who needed a father. He had poured every ounce of his twisted but genuine love into that child. He had fought dragons for her, both real and metaphorical. He had lied to the world, to her, and most damningly to himself, constructing the narrative that she was his biological daughter, a miracle survivor. That lie was the bedrock of his identity as a father. And now, with the silent, undeniable presence of the true Charlotte, that bedrock had not just cracked, it had vaporized. The scalpel in his hand wasn't just a weapon. It was the physical manifestation of his splintering psyche. Carly, who moments before had been hurling accusations about his manipulations and his danger to Nina, had simply been in the wrong place at the absolute worst time. She became an anchor to the present, a hostage to his past, a tangible thing he could control when the universe had just proven itself uncontrollable. Not another step, Valentin hissed, his voice a ragged whisper that carried more threat than any shout. His eyes darted between Anna, who had subtly shifted into a defensive stance, and the haunting vision of his real daughter. This is a trick. A sick, twisted Cassadine trick. Helena's final joke from beyond the grave. His gaze snapped back to Carly, his breath hot against her ear. You're part of this. You and your mother with your schemes. This is a doppelganger, a paid actress. Anna took a cautious half-step forward, her hands raised in a placating gesture, but her eyes were sharp, assessing every micro-twitch of Valentin's arms. Valentin, look at her. Really look. This is no trick. The DNA tests, the records from the clinic in Prague. Helena switched the babies. The child you raised, the young woman you love, is the daughter of your cousin, Constantine. And this is your biological daughter. She's been alive all this time. The words were surgical in their precision, each one slicing deeper into Valentin's crumbling reality. The young woman in the doorway flinched, a soft, pained sound escaping her lips. My name. They told me my name was Lila, she whispered, her voice trembling. But my earliest memories, they're flashes. A lullaby in French. A stuffed raven. A man with sad eyes who smelled of snow and leather. Her eyes, so like his own in their intensity, filled with tears. Valentin. His name on her lips, uttered with such tentative, heartbreaking recognition, was the final cruel blow. A sob, raw and entirely unwilled, tore from Valentin's throat. The conflict on his face was agonizing to witness. The dawning, awestruck recognition of his own blood warring with the catastrophic grief for the daughter he was losing in this very moment. The daughter he had just had breakfast with. The daughter he had worried over, grounded, celebrated. The daughter who was, according to this new, horrifying truth, a living, breathing monument to his own victimhood at the hands of his grandmother. His love for her didn't vanish. It mutated, twisting into a searing pain that merged with the shock, creating a toxic, explosive cocktail of emotions. Don't say that, he choked out, his grip tightening on Carly, who winced. You have no right. She is my daughter. Charlotte is my daughter. He was pleading now, not just to Anna or to the woman claiming to be his child, but to the universe itself. I held her when she was scared of thunderstorms. I taught her to ride a bicycle. I sat in parent-teacher conferences. That is my child. And she still is. Anna insisted, her voice firm yet laced with a desperate empathy. Nothing can erase the father you've been to her. But Valentin, you have another child. A child who was stolen from you. This is not an enemy. This is your daughter. But reason had no purchase here. The psychological onslaught was too vast. In Valentin's mind, the two realities could not coexist. To accept one was to annihilate the other. The foundation was gone and he was free-falling. The only solid thing was the woman in his grasp. Carly, who had remained unervingly silent, finally spoke, her voice low and surprisingly steady, though laced with an undercurrent of sheer terror. "Valentin, listen to her," Carly murmured, barely moving her lips. "Hurting me isn't going to make this go away. It won't change what's true. It'll just make you a murderer on top of everything else. Is that what you want either of your daughters to see?" Her words, pragmatic and sharp, seemed to puncture the haze of his panic for a millisecond. His eyes flickered toward the doorway again, where the young woman Lila Charlotte, this impossible phantom, was weeping silently, her hand pressed over her mouth. The sight was a fresh dagger to his heart. In that fractured moment of hesitation, the world outside the room's terrifying bubble began to intrude. The sound of running footsteps, hard-soled shoes squeaking on linoleum, echoed down the corridor. Muffled voices, tense and urgent, grew louder. The hospital's security, alerted by a frantic nurse or by Anna's earlier precautions, was descending. The noise acted as a catalyst, snapping Valentin from his temporary paralysis into a higher state of alarm. "Back!" he shouted at Anna, jerking Carly with him as he shuffled sideways, putting more distance between himself and the door. His mind, always strategic even in its madness, began racing. He was trapped. The window offered no escape. They were several stories up. The only exit was the door, now likely blocked. The scalpel pressed closer, a tiny bead of blood welling up on Carly's neck. She gasped, the pain a shocking final confirmation of her very real peril. "I want a car," Valentin demanded, his voice regaining a sliver of its customary cold control, though it trembled at the edges. "Now, and clearance out of the city. Or I swear, Anna, this will be the last time you see Carly Corinthos alive." He was buying time, creating a tableau of a hostage situation, something with rules and negotiations, because the emotional tsunami was too vast to navigate. This was a problem he could, in his twisted logic, manage. Outside the room, the scene was one of controlled chaos. Hospital security guards in dark uniforms had formed a loose cordon, their faces grim. Bobby Spencer, who had been down the hall, was now being physically restrained by a nurse, her face ashen with a mother's primal fear. "Carly, my baby!" she cried, the sound echoing heartbreakingly. Spinelli had appeared from somewhere, laptop already open, his fingers flying across the keys, his usual technobabble replaced by a tense, quiet muttering as he likely tried to access hospital blueprints or security feeds. Inside the room, the standoff crystallized. Anna was the negotiator, the barrier between Valentin's knife and a bloody conclusion. The real Charlotte was a silent, traumatized witness to the monster her father could become. And Carly was the pawn, the human shield caught in the cataclysm of a single man's shattered life. Every second stretched into an eternity, measured by the frantic rhythm of Carly's heartbeat under the cold steel, and the silent tracks of tears on the face of the young woman in the doorway. The psychological pressure cooker in the room was nearing its bursting point. Valentin's demand hung in the air, met by Anna's steely measured silence. She didn't immediately refuse, nor did she agree. She was playing the only card she had, time. Every second that ticked by was a second for Valentin's adrenaline to fade, for the shock to settle into a more manageable, and perhaps more dangerous, despair. It was also a second for the tactical team she knew was being assembled to get into position.